What's going on, guys? Setso Mirza here, finally back out of the lab with a brand new Harpie deck profile. After waiting for over a year now, Konami has finally blessed us with the new Harpie's Pet Dragon retrain imported over from the OCG, and it's time to put it to work. And real quick, to all my Master Duel players, I've been reading all your comments, and I know you all are hungry for that long-awaited Master Duel Harpie combo video that I've been promising, but most of my free time for Yu-Gi-Oh! These past few months has been spent preparing for the TCG Nationals, which just got wrapped up in Rosemont, which, by the way, was a blast. That's where I ended up getting this mat. Shout outs to my boy Minty Fresh Gaming, his channel's in the description box below. But I definitely am still planning to get more Master Duel content out for you all soon. And to hold you guys over, I've posted my Master Duel friend code in the description box below as well, so make sure to give me a follow. I got a bunch of public replays saved down there that I keep updated and cycled through, so if you're dying to see some more Setso Mirza Master Duel content, make sure to follow me on Master Duel and smash that subscribe button. We're getting real close to that 1,000 subs mark, and be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss anything with my super flaky upload schedule. And with that, that's enough rambling, and let's get right into the deck profile. So starting off, of course, we have our tokens here, the Bandai cards. Always got to flex those. And then we have our piece de resistance, the Harpie's Pet Dragon, Fearsome Fire Blast himself. So finally imported here. The main effects that we're going to be using are if you control a level 6 or lower wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one wind winged base monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this card is an extender that we can summon out of hand if our perfumer or channeler gets negated or something like that. And then when it goes to the grave, we can send a Tri-Brigade Nerval or like a Harpie Harpist to the graveyard and be able to get our plays going that way. So really, really solid piece, and definitely what gives the deck a little bit of that extra push that it's been needing for quite some time now. So getting into the Harpie count, we got our 3 Harpie Channeler, got our 3 Harpie Perfumers, it's all pretty standard, and then we got our 2 Harpie Ladies, our Egotist targets, and then 1 Harpie Harpist. So these are probably should be Harpie Lady 1s because we're not playing Unexpected Die in this build anymore. We were originally, but we ended up swapping it out for something you guys are going to see in a bit. And then I'm playing these vanillas because obviously I gotta flex those MRD firsts. But yeah, you can probably play Harpie Lady 1 there and be just fine. Harpist is for discard target off of Channeler, of course, and you can send it to the graveyard with the Fire Blast, like I mentioned, in case you already have access to the Nerval, so you can get yourself a little bit of follow-up that way. We're just playing the 1 Egotist, and these are our 2 targets for it. We only play 1 Egotist because you can recycle it back with Hysteric Sign, and in the Tri-Brigade builds, you don't really want to be opening cards that don't combo well with the Tri-Brigades, which Egotist definitely fits the bill of. Then we've got our triple Hysteric Sign. So in this deck, we're mainly trying to discard it, but in a pinch, obviously you can use it to grab back the Egotist, like I mentioned. Our main discarder for Sign is going to be the Tri-Brigade Bear Broom, and that'll be the way that we get most of our Sign searches off that way. We've got the 1 Harpie's Feather Duster, of course, to be able to search off the Sign and to be able to search off of Feather Storm. This card needs no explanation, and that rounds out the Harpie count. So we've got a total of like 20 Harpie cards in this deck, so just a little bit under half the deck, and yeah, definitely going to be seeing a lot of Harpies when you're playing this deck. A little bit more of a pure build, but there's other ways to take it. But now getting into our supplementary engine, we've got, of course, our Tri-Brigades. So starting off, we've got our 2 Tenkis. This is going to be double as more copies of Fractal, basically. So Fractal, it's like probably the best 1-card starter in the entire deck, so we want to max out on it while we can. And then we've got only 2 Nervals, and then 1 Kit, and the 1 Keris. So this is like a little bit of a smaller package, just the 2 Nervals. You can play 3 Nerval for sure, but I think the 1 Kit and the 1 Keris makes sense, along with the 1 Revolt. So this is our search target for the Bear Broom. And this engine basically gives us follow-up, it gives us extra pushes, it combos extremely well with the Pet Dragon, so instead of just playing, you could play like the minimum, like 1 Keras, 1 Nerval package, but I decided to go a little bit bigger than that because of how good they are as individual starters that don't, you can continue to use even if your Harpies get stopped. Then the card that I swapped Unexpected Die out for was the Lyrilusk Turquoise Warbler. So you could go a little bit heavier on the Lyrilusk count as well. I've definitely experimented with it, and you can get like a really cool like bird up list going, because this card, you can special summon it from the hand, and then if you have the Harpie's Pet Dragon, you can special summon it along with it, and then use the dragon as the tuner to be able to synchro up into Cyber Slash, trigger the Dragon Surge. So that's why I ended up going with it over Unexpected Die. Also because it is a Tri-Beast type monster, so you can discard it off of Karis, which is a big deal because sometimes you just end up with too many spells when you play Unexpected Die. And yeah, I really like Warbler. Like I said, you can max out on the birds a little bit more and get a little bit more of a tri-brigade, like a bit of a tri-build going. But I ended up keeping it a little bit more pure, so just playing the 3 Warblers here. With Unexpected Die, you can go on Unexpected Die effect, summon the vanilla, link the vanilla off for Imduck, and then, you know, use the dragon and Imduck to be able to go into like a Heretic seal. But I found that that took too many extra deck slots, so I like the Warbler because it doesn't require you to play anything else in the extra deck, which is getting pretty tight now. So moving on into the tech cards, we've got our triple Forbidden Droplet. So this is probably the best going second card that you can have in this deck. I know it's expensive right now, but you know, it should be getting a reprint in the Megatins coming in September, hopefully. But this card is really great because you can send copies of like Hysteric Sign to the graveyard, as well as Tri-Brigade Nervals and kits and whatnot, and be able to, like a used up Tenki is something that you can send out as well. So you get a lot of free sends to be able to get this into graveyard. And the best part about this is it still lets you attack, which you will see why that matters later. But we are also playing the Dark Ruler No More in the main deck, so you may be saying, wow, this is a lot of board breaker cards. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of room for hand traps, in my opinion, these board breakers are a lot, you know, more well suited, especially if you only have 6 slots. So these are all I'm playing for in terms of going second defense, aside from the Feather Duster. But in the upcoming Sprite and Tier Elements format, I really think that these board breakers are going to serve you better than hand traps, and just give you ways to actually play through those ridiculous boards that those decks can set up. And then for the last 2 slots, we have a Double or Nothing and Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave should be banned, so just auto include. There's no reason why this card should still be around. It just blanks your opponent's hand traps without any requirements, like even stronger than Featherstorm in a lot of cases. And then Double or Nothing, I really feel like the Harpie build, when you're not playing a big Lyrilisk package, you really need a way to be able to go second and to be able to finish out games. Double or Nothing is really strong into both the Sprite and Tier Elements boards if you can resolve like a Forbidden Droplet, like I said. But you know, obviously you're going to have times where Dark Ruler, the only way you're going to be able to play is the Dark Ruler, and that's when you're not going to be able to go for these Utopia double OTKs. But if you needed Dark Ruler to play anyway, then you likely were not OTKing regardless, so that doesn't really conflict in my opinion. And another bonus with playing all the Tri-Brigades for Double or Nothing is that you can be able to put it back into the deck with Ferrojet and Bear Broom, which comes up pretty oftenly. So when you open this card going first, it's a free card to put back into the deck and get an extra draw, and that has come up for me a lot. So that rounds out the main deck. It is 41 cards. I like to stay as close to 40 as possible in order to max out Seeing Sign and, you know, to see your going second cards, your Featherstorm and all that. We're not playing Prosperity anymore because the extra deck is super tight, and the main deck is actually getting pretty tight too with the new Pet Dragon. So going into the extra deck, we've got our Cyber Slash Harpie Lady. So we make Cyber Slash a lot now, like with that Lyrilisk combo, like I mentioned. You know, with just 2 level 4s as well, you make Cyber Slash. So she comes up quite a lot, which is, you know, really nice because that's not a card that you usually get to make super often in the Tri-Brigade builds. But now that we have the new Pet Dragon, it comes up a lot more. And then we've got Almirage, so this is just the utility spot to link off for the 2 Nervals in 1 kit in order to get started that way. And then we've got the Harpie Conductor, so you make Conductor a lot in this deck too, because the Tri-Brigade effect, you'll usually use that to bring out Conductor, and then that makes your Featherstorm live if you've got an end phase Hysteric Sign Search off of discarding it via Bear Broom. And then Conductor, you also make it by linking off like a Harpie plus the Pet Dragon into Conductor. That's something that you do a lot to be able to get the Dragon Search. And then Ancient Warriors, Oath, Devil Dragon Lords, playing this as well because it's obviously very strong with Tri-Brigade. You can use it to send the Hysteric Sign for cost and be able to get trigger the search that way as well, so definitely comes up. Then we've got the Ferrojet, only 1 Ferrojet. If I had room, I would definitely play a second one, but we only have 1 in this build. Super solid card. You can put back Double or Nothing like I mentioned, and then combos with the Shurag, being able to search a target to summon off this always comes up as well. Then we have the 1 Bear Broom. This is going to search us our Revolt. It also gives us our outlet to discard for Hysteric Sign. We have one Rugal just because we needed a Link 3, and I ended up playing Rugal because there's a lot more generic Tri-Brigade combos that you need this for instead of the Doom Eagle, for example. And you can use this card's effect to be able to bring back like a Harpie from graveyard. If you, let's say you trigger Hysteric Sign and you search, but you've got no Harpie on field, if you make a Rugal, then you can bring a Harpie back from graveyard and make the sign or the Featherstorm that you just searched live, which is really cool. Then I'm playing the double Omens. Shurag, you know, really strong. I play 2 because sometimes you use 1 for the combo and then you want to have 1 to be able to use on your Revolt for follow-up. This lets you go for, you know, plays where you can summon Chaos and then banish 4 without having to use your normal summon in case your normal summon gets negated. So definitely opt to play 2 of this. Then for the Link 4s, we're playing Appaloosa and Access Code. Appaloosa obviously you make going first as part of most of your end boards, and then Access Code is for the OTKs. And then going on into the Xyz, we were playing Baguska. So in my opinion, I chose to play this over the Abyss Dweller because in the next upcoming format, you can use Baguska in defense to be able to, if you start with this, then Sprite and Tier Elements both have an extremely hard time playing through it. They basically need some kind of non-engine negation card to be able to deal with this. And then going second, in attack mode, he's not able to be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so it's very good to be able to make Zeus with. So this is the utility that I played. Dweller, I like Dweller, was something I was considering as well because a lot of the Tier Elements decks are playing Dark Ruler, so they could out, you know, cards like Baguska. And Dweller, obviously you chain it in the standby phase and the Dark Ruler doesn't do anything against it. But I ended up going for Baguska because of the going second ability and because it also covers the Sprite matchup where Dweller is not nearly as impactful. And then I've got the Utopia double OTK package. You know, I'm a huge fan of this. If you watch my Master Duel videos, like this is how we are stealing games going second with Harpies. You just normal summon a Perfumer, you bait some effect, you drop Forbidden Droplet, or you chain like a Featherstorm, you know, blank their entire board, and then just surprise them with the Utopia double OTK. This is something that I think if off of your guaranteed search for, if you search off of or a Hysteric Sign, you're gonna grab like a Perfumer along with a Featherstorm and maybe like a Duster for your follow-up, and you really want that follow-up to turn into this double or nothing OTK package because that's really how you're going to close out your games on turn 3 or if you're going second. So highly recommend this. It takes the 2 extra deck spots plus the main deck spot, but I think it's well worth it, especially while the surprise factor is here. And like I said, it works well against Sprite and Tier Elements, which I expect to be, you know, very prevalent in the upcoming meta. Last card in the extra deck is the Zeus himself, so not much surprise here. Zeus, like obviously if our double or nothing OTK doesn't go off, or if our Baguska, you know, we can just go into Zeus and be able to clear the board that way. Then moving on into the side deck, got our Field Center, and then we have our one Harpies Hunting Ground. So this is searchable, going second. You know, it's nice removal. You definitely don't have to play this card, but it's something that I like to play along with the other back row removal that I'm opting for. So I got the triple Lightning Storm. This is good against monsters for like Fluanderees, for example, or obviously just any back row deck. And then along with the one red reboot, so not much to really explain there. We just got 5 anti-back row cards along with the Feather Duster in the main. And then I've got triple Nibiru here. So this is something that, I mean, we're kind of like in between ban lists right now, post-nationals. We haven't gotten a new ban list for Power of the Elements yet, so I still expect to see those heavier like Punk and Dragon Link decks and whatnot where you really want Nibiru for, as well as Sword Soul. So in post Power of the Elements format, likely after a ban list, if it really gets down to just Sprite and Tier Element though, then we should probably replace these Nibirus with like Psy-Frame Gear Gammas in order to hit like the gigantic Splite or whatnot. But for now I'm just opting to play Nibiru for the genericness, as well as the Ash Blossom in the side deck. This is very generic. If anything that like doesn't work, if Droplet or Dark Ruler is not good against the matchup that you're playing against, like let's say you're playing against like a Trap Eldritch or something, you can bring in like the Ash Blossom, and then obviously you want that to hit like a Branded Fusion going second. And then we are playing 2 Trap Tricks along with 2 Dimensional Barriers. So we have a total of 4 traps for going first. So the Trap Trick can grab us either the Harpies Featherstorm or it can grab us a Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier I like a lot because it hits Sword Soul, it hits Despia, it hits Sprite, it hits Tier Element. It's a 1-card stun that's not like a floodgate that needs to stay up on the board, so you don't really care if your opponent like has any back row removal. So I think it fits the theme really well with like a Featherstorm, for example. So yeah, that is the deck. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I've been playing it on EDO Pro, and I expect to bring it to regionals this upcoming season as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, so I wanted to show just a couple quick combos. I know this videos tend to get pretty long, but let's just get on with it. So we're going to use Warbler, we're going to special summon it, and then use the dragon effect to special summon it because we control a wind monster. And then we're going to synchro these two off, and we'll make our Cyber / Harpie Lady. That is going to trigger the dragon effect, and it's going to send Nerval from deck to graveyard. That'll trigger Nerval, and Nerval is going to be able to search us Tri-Brigade Kit, which we can then normal summon, use Kit effect to be able to banish the 2 Tri-Beasts from the graveyard. And then we'll be able to bring out a Tri-Brigade Bear Broom. And then we can link the Bear Broom and the Kit off into a Rugal, and that'll trigger the Kit and the Bear Broom. So we'll go Bear Broom, Chainlink 1, Kit, Chainlink 2. So Kit's going to send another Tri-Monster, it'll send the Fractal, and then Bear Broom is going to search us our Tri-Brigade Revolt, and then we put a card back from our hand to the bottom of the deck, and then we'll set the Revolt and pass. So basically we have Tri-Brigade Revolt, which is going to summon back, these 2 from Banish, these 2 from Grave. So we summon out 4 guys. We're going to make our Omen to be able to banish a card from their field non-targeting, as well as trigger our Nerval to be able to get us our follow-up, and flipping Revolt is also going to trigger our Cyber Slash to be able to bounce a monster that the opponent controls as well. So this is a bounce, this is a banish, and this is searched follow-up, all off of a 2-card combo. Rugal is going to be able to bring back like another Tri-Beast from graveyard and get it to hand as well. So, or we can even use that to trigger our Shurag when we'd like to, in case they have like a Cosmic Cyclone or a Duster, to be able to trigger the Revolt right away. So this is a nice solid combo that we have access to off of just the Warbler and the Pet Dragon. Alright, for this last combo, we're going to show what we can do if we have a hand just chock full of Harpies. So we're going to have a live Channeler discard, we're going to have a Fire Blast, we're going to have a Hysteric sign that we want to pitch, and we're going to have a Tri-Beast in hand to be able to discard off of our Keras that we're going to search. So let's move this hand down here. We're going to start off with normal summoning Channeler, and then use Channeler's effect. We'll discard the Harpist in order to special summon a Harpie from deck, and we'll bring out the Harpie Perfumer. That'll trigger Perfumer's effect, and it's going to search us an Elegant Egotist to our hand. And then we're going to activate the Pet Dragon effect to be able to special summon it, and we'll link these 2 off in order to go into a copy of Harpie Conductor. So that'll trigger the Dragon's effect, and that's going to send us a Tri-Brigade Nerval to graveyard, and that'll trigger the Nerval in order to search us a Keras. So then we can use the Keras effect in hand, sending this Harpie Lady Vanilla from hand to the graveyard in order to special summon itself. And then we can use Keras effect to banish all 4 of the Tri-Beasts that we have in the graveyard. So the Vanilla, the Nerval, the Perfumer, and the Harpist, and that'll get us a Tri-Brigade Shurag. And then we will link off the Shurag and the Keras into a copy of Bear Broom, and then that'll trigger the Shurag effect, and Shurag is going to search us out a Tri-Brigade Kit. So then we can use the Bear Broom effect. We'll discard the Kit and Hysteric sign in order to target our banished Nerval and special summon that Nerval back, and then that'll trigger Kit effect, and Kit will be able to send a Tri-Brigade Fractal to graveyard. So then we can use Nerval's effect and banish the Kit and the Fractal, and that'll get us an Ancient Warriors Double Dragon Lords, and then we can link all these guys off into a copy of Appaloosa. This is Appaloosa for 3, so 2400 attack, and then that'll activate Bear Broom's effect. So Bear Broom is going to get us to search for Tri-Brigade Revolt, and then we'll take our Elegant Egotist that we searched and didn't use, and we'll put that back to the bottom of the deck. And so then we will set our Revolt and proceed to the end phase. And end phase, we're going to trigger our Hysteric sign to search, and we're going to search for a copy of Perfumer, Featherstorm, and Feather Duster to the hand. So at the end of all of this, we have our Tri-Brigade Revolt, which we can summon a Shurag on the opponent's turn, as well as get us a search off of like the Nerval that we bring back to get us our follow-up. We've got a bounce off the Ancient Warriors Oath Double Dragon Lords. We've got 3 monster negates with the Appaloosa. We have a live Featherstorm because of the Harpie Conductor that we have up here, as well as follow-up with Feather Duster and a Perfumer, which still has its search target live because we put our Egotist back to the bottom of the deck. So that's something that you can do with just a hand chock full of Harpies. Obviously you need the right discards and whatnot, but the bigger boards that you make are going to tend to try and follow this. You're usually going to end on something like a Appaloosa, Revolt, and then hopefully a live Featherstorm, or just an Appaloosa and a live Featherstorm, or like a Cyber Slash and a Revolt. Just any sort of combinations of these kinds of cards is usually what you're going to end up on. So that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, be sure to subscribe. like the video, share it with your friends. I don't upload too much, but when I do, hopefully you guys definitely enjoy the content. So until next time, this has been Seto Mirza signing off. Peace!